While the U.S. is seizing tankers left and right near Venezuela, a Russian Shadow Fleet ship just sailed straight into port and unloaded, right under America's nose. Here's what happened. The U.S. Coast Guard has seized 3 oil tankers in the past 2 weeks, enforcing Trump's blockade. But when a Russian-flagged tanker carrying naphtha approached Venezuelan waters, the USS Stockdale, a billion-dollar destroyer, just watched it pass. U.S. surveillance aircraft circled 200 miles out, but didn't get any closer. Why? Russia has 183 vessels in its Shadow Fleet, and Moscow made it crystal clear, touch our energy ships, and it's an act of war. The U.S. can board tankers from Panama or Venezuela without much risk. Worst case, you get economic retaliation. But intercepting a Russian-flagged vessel? That's a direct confrontation with a nuclear power. So here's the trap the U.S. is stuck in. They announced the largest naval blockade in South American history, 15,000 troops, 11 warships. But the blockade only works on countries that won't fight back. Russia called their bluff, and the U.S. blinked. One tanker got through, then another. And now the whole strategy looks like a joke. This isn't just about one shipment. If Russia can deliver oil to Venezuela openly, so can China, so can Iran. The blockade isn't holding, and everyone's watching.
The Lord came to me in a warning dream last night, saints. And in this dream, I remember looking into the skies, and I couldn't see nothing at first because of the clouds. And then out of nowhere, I saw these jet planes and these cargo planes emerge. And out of the jet planes and cargo planes came men in parachutes, in droves. They began to invade America. And I remember in the dream, waking up in the dream, seeing these airplane parts scattered in his backyard. And I remember videotaping it and getting ready to upload it on YouTube. And I was reminded of Russia. And I remember telling my auntie, look what's happening. Do you see what's happening? And she was nonchalant about it. And she said, oh yeah, airplanes. I said, no. Do you see what's going on? God is allowing this to happen. He's bringing judgment on America. A foreign military is about to invade. And I remember telling my brother the same exact thing. Do you see what's going on? Do you see what's happening? Do you see what's taking place? And he was nonchalant about it. And I remember slapping him as to wake him up. Man, look, we are about to be invaded. And this dream was so real, saints. It was modern day, but it looked like America was desolate, like a reset button had taken place to make it look like old times. And I remember waking up from the dream, repenting to the Lord, asking Him to forgive me for my sins. I don't know when this is going to happen. I'm not going to set a date or a calendar month. That's up to the Lord. But the dream was urgent. Russia was the word that I heard. And this isn't the first dream that I've had of Russia invading. It was like the airwaves in America was blanketed with parachuters and airplanes. It's time to repent. It doesn't matter who's in office. America's fate is sealed. Take it to the Lord in prayer. We will be invaded soon. Shalom.
Saw nuclear weapons going off over major American cities. I saw foreign troops on American soil. And I saw that for many years, men, weapons, ammunition, tanks, artillery shells, war supplies had been pre-positioned in America. And I saw many warehouses stocked full of weapons and supplies for an invasion of America. I saw what I thought was an asteroid strike that hit the Earth in what looked like Western Canada. And that strike turned the water poisonous for almost all of America. And what I saw was a massive rock going into the Atlantic Ocean, and I reasoned it to be an asteroid, but now that I think about it, it could have been that volcanic mountain at La Palma going into the ocean. I do not really know. What I was shown was a massive rock that was burning on fire, that was hitting the ocean and causing a monster of a tsunami. It caused a massive wall of water to hit the America's east coast, and that wall of water was maybe a mile high or even higher. This wall of water went many miles inland, destroying the entire east coast, and for a time the state of Florida was totally underwater. Jeremiah 51:42. The sea has come upon Babylon, she is covered with the multitude of the waves thereof. Revelation 8:8-11. And the second angel sounded, and as it were a mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea, and a third part of the sea became blood, and a third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died, and a third part of the ships were destroyed. And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp, and it fell upon the third parts of the rivers and upon the fountains of waters. And the name of the star is called Wormwood. And the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. I saw a mega earthquake on the west coast that caused two other faults to rip wide open, causing another massive tsunami on the west coast. Then these earthquakes caused several major volcanoes to erupt. I saw the New Madrid Fault rupture, which ripped America in half from the Great Lakes down to New Orleans. And at some points this was up to 100 miles wide in some areas. America's heartland was turned into a great sea between two continents. And I saw Yellowstone erupt with a massive eruption. I saw several other volcanoes all erupting at the same time. Then the scene was that I was shown was from above the earth, and I was witnessing all this on the big screen. And then it zoomed down and in close, and I saw civil war in America. I saw Americans shooting and bombing other Americans. Everyone seemed to have gone mad, rioting, looting, burning, much murder in the streets. I saw blood in all the streets of America. I saw bodies piling up everywhere and no one to remove them. I saw flies everywhere. They filled every home. They were everywhere. And the smell was unbearable. You could smell death of rotting corpses everywhere and in every home. I saw paper money blowing down the street, and no one gave it a thought, as it was worthless paper. Everyone was broke. Money and gold were worthless. The only thing that had any value was food and clean water. Ezekiel 7:19. They shall cast their silver into the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity. I saw America in darkness from coast to coast, and it was a total darkness, and then the lights just rolled out across America.
This is not a prediction. It's a script already in motion. A global blackout is coming, and it's not from a storm. It's from a switch being pulled. The elites know they can't fully roll out their next phase, digital currency, total surveillance, AI governance, while the old system still breathes. So the plan? Collapse the grid, crash the economy, and reboot society under new digital control. They'll blame the sun. They'll blame the weather. They'll say it's climate chaos. But behind the scenes, it's deliberate. Cyber Polygon, a WEF-backed simulation, already rehearsed it. A cyber attack that shuts down banks, power, communication. No energy, no access, no options. And when chaos hits, they'll offer the solution. CBDCs, biometric ID, smart grids. Control disguised as convenience. To make things worse, they're geoengineering the skies to block the sun, under the lie of cooling the earth. But why dim the sun? Why spread metal particles in the air? Because a panicked, disconnected, sun-starved population is easier to control. This isn't a theory. It's the pretext for the Great Reset.
America turns dark and cold, and the lights went out all over America as if an EMP weapon had been used against America. Now, when you see photos and video of today of America from space at night, America looks like a brilliant shining jewel, all shining as there are lights everywhere. I saw America go dark and quiet, and I only saw this for a moment, but my impression was that it was from some kind of an attack upon America. I give you Isaiah 47:5. Set thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. Everyone was starving, and the people, they were eating bugs, bark, leaves, grass, as the hunger pains was so great. I saw people cooking and eating other people. I saw parents cooking and eating their children. I saw parents trading their children for a handful of beans and rice. Cannibalism was so rampant that no one gave it a thought, as it had become common and normal. This, I gathered, was in the tribulation, and I've had several dreams about that period of time, and my impression was that this was not off in the distant future, but was near present time. I saw this and much more. My focus has always been on America, as it has sinned the most and drug or forced other nations into her abominations. But no part of the earth was spared. Every nation, every island, every people, everywhere was touched by this great tribulation. After this Christmas, time speeds up even more and goes into hyperdrive, and months now seem like days, and calamities will come right on top of one another with no break in between. And these calamities, they will be staggering, even earth-shaking. Emergency measures will be called by the government, but it will be too little, too late. I talked to a lot of people that you would be shocked how many people are being laid off right now and right before Christmas. And not after Christmas like normal, but right before Christmas. And the only jobs available are jobs like Uber driver, Uber Eats, DoorDash, those kinds of jobs that pay almost nothing. And you have to rely on tips for most of your wages. Millions will be laid off next year. Millions will go homeless next year. I saw millions of Americans lining the ditches going out of every town, every city in America, from small towns to major cities. Since all cities had made it illegal to be homeless, the homeless have had to leave every town and live in the ditches just outside the city limit of every town in America. And you think that this cannot happen here? Well, it has already started in many cities across America, And it will be coming to your city. You wait and see. Mark my word. The plight of these homeless is terrible. No food, no water, no sanitation facilities, disease run rampant. No campers or RVs are allowed, as they have been banned on streets, even outside city limits. So everyone lives in tents or cardboard boxes in the ditches. Now with all hope gone, they just wait to die. But there is much pain and suffering before death comes for them. I know, because I have seen this. After this Christmas, everything falls apart. Everything you have ever trusted is gone. Power will become hit and miss, and then we'll lose power altogether. And no power means no TV, no internet, no cell phones, no heat, no air, no lights. Without power, nothing works. And then no fire department, no police, no ambulance, no hospitals, no clinics, no doctor's offices are open. No one to call, and no way to call someone if you end up in an emergency, as you are on your own. Roving gangs of young men will go from door to door, and they will kill everyone and take what they want. Millions of very nasty demons will be released upon the earth in those days, and they will inhabit many, making them do unspeakable things. They will have the power of many strong men. They will act more like animals than men, and they will walk, but not like men. And they will contort their bodies into shapes that are humanly impossible.